Am I supposed to be here?
There's a girl with wild heart, met some friends through podcast art. Josh is preaching from his court, while Caleb's wisdom gives support. Current events and sports today, making people laugh and play. From the screen, real life fun, now this family has begun. Holly and the Bros, Holly and the Bros. Here we go. From the desert to Midwest fun, Holly and the Bros. Let's go. Spunky Holly with sneaky grin, Pastor Josh there through thick and thin. Gentle giant Caleb speaks words of truth that make you think. Cross the miles to meet and share adventures that are oh so rare. Different views but same big heart, friendship's what has set them apart. Holly and the Bros, Holly and the Bros. Here we go. From the screen to real life fun, Holly and the Bros.
Welcome back.
And we're back.
Yeah,
I was rocking out.
I saw. You know how hard it was for me to not video that little square in the bottom when that video was on there, so I can share it next week. Because I was like, heck yeah, Holly's dancing and all sorts of stuff, and
Whoa!
I don't know what that was. Was that me?
Yeah,
it sounded like me. Hey, before we get started, though, I did want to say one thing. I wanted to say thank you to everyone out there. Our socials blew up over the last couple of weeks, and just thanks for the support. I mean, a man of a few words when I want to say something important, but I do appreciate it. I know we all do. So thank you for that. I think we're going to get to the 1,000 subscribers on TikTok that we need to be live for season 5. We're not quite there. I think we're like 20 shy.
Yeah,
so
we're
if you haven't followed us on TikTok, go ahead and do that so we can get to that 1,000 mark. So we can be live there too and see what that does for that. But before we go any further, I think we have to say happy birthday to somebody.
I don't see her on either.
I don't either. I'll wait. As soon as I see her pop up, I'll hit the happy birthday song. But
send this to.
It's Rudy's birthday today. And Rudy is, I don't know, is awesome a good enough word for Rudy? Because she's always there. She always shows support. Behind the scenes, she's always shows encouragement. She's, I don't know, when we joke around and say we have 7 fans, Rudy's definitely got to be one of those 7.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And she's been there since pretty much day one, at least day one since Holly joined the podcast almost 4 years ago. Is that right? Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. So just happy birthday. If you haven't given her a shout out on any of our socials, please do that. Let's try as a group to make today as good as possible for her. I just didn't think we could really start the day without saying happy birthday to one of our people. So, and as soon as we see her jump in, for anybody that's watching right now, we'll hit her with a happy birthday song, and then that way everybody will know. She won't know, but everybody else will. So
I'm not 100% sure though that she is. She's actually drove super far, like 17 hours to go visit her family. So
awesome.
So she might not be on, and I mean, because there's a lot going on. So
and that's okay. And if we have to hit her with a happy birthday song next week, we will. It doesn't expire, and we make the rules. That's one good thing about not having sponsors. We can do whatever we want.
This is true.
So, hey, I want to talk to you guys about something that I saw today, and so I had to research it to make sure it was correct. And seems like it's correct. Did you guys hear that one Mr. Jeffrey Epstein actually won the Powerball in 2008?
Yeah. And it's confirmed. Actually,
Yes.
yeah. He
I
won.
confirmed it on several different
Yeah,
sites.
he's like $89 million. And then
It was after taxes took 29.3 million. It was 85 million, and then after taxes, and it was through his ranch in Zorro, or that
Right.
Zorro ranch that everybody's been talking about.
No, it's
The
rigged.
payoff money.
I've been saying it's rigged, and the fact that he won it kind of proves it to me.
Yeah.
It's insane,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, our youngest, Caleb and I's youngest brother has always said that it's like it's somebody, you know, somebody's getting paid off. That's how they do certain things, and I'm like, no, it's got to be real, you know, blah blah blah. Then I hear somebody like Jeffrey Epstein won the Powerball.
Right.
I'm like, wait a second, what? And then you have all those people that won it in Arkansas when there's pretty good sized power couple that are from Arkansas. And
Yeah.
I'm like, is this thing even legit?
Right.
I'm not sure I have a chance.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I've spent a lot of money. Is there a way I can sue for all my money back? Because
No,
I'm convinced it's rigged.
because
I am so convinced.
they're really good
yeah,
at taking
yeah.
it. They're not very good at giving it back.
Yeah, that is true.
True.
Especially, I was reminded of that since it is tax season, that it is, they're really good about micromanaging every dime that we should have to report, but somehow, some way, they can't figure out how to micromanage their own budgets.
Right?
Can't tell you where all the money that they get goes.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Dollars, like, oh yeah, we don't know where that went.
Well, the craziest thing to me is they obviously know what everybody owes. So if you do your taxes wrong, they'll come after you, but they already knew. Like,
Yeah.
why should it just take it? Do what you got to, you know, do the taxes for me. I shouldn't have to do them. I already pay them. And then now I got to do my taxes. Come on.
Now, I think we can agree at some level, being a citizen of a county, a city, a state, a federal government, whatever it may be, that taxes at some level make sense for improvements and different things. Government, actual real government programs that, you know, are beneficial, you know, infrastructure type things, like,
Yeah.
you know, different things like that. But honestly, the tax code should be on one piece of paper. It shouldn't be something that takes so hard.
Like it is super complicating. And then on top of that, it's like somehow if I do it myself, I can figure out a way to get money back. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. But like you go through leaps and bounds to figure out how to get money back so you don't have to pay them even more than you were already paying them in your everyday life. Like it's too much for me. And I wish that, you know, just tell me what I got to pay and I'll pay it. And then let's forget about this income tax, and the people who do get money because of their kids, send it to them. You already know how much it is. Like, come on.
Agreed. You know, I don't understand. I mean, when we get to that point too, like inheritance tax and things like that, that money's been taxed so many times. There shouldn't be any tax on that. And
no, I paid enough.
I think it would be wise if you just, I think we need to do away with some of the taxation. But if you just raise sales tax and then you just had to pay taxes on the things that you bought, not what money you bring in, might help people be a little bit more fiscally responsible. It just sucks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's just sucky, but.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
Speaking of taxes.
Uh-oh.
So, and this like kind of leads into another thing that's kind of hilarious.
Uh-oh. Kind of hilarious usually is bad news.
So are they using our tax dollars to rename freeways?
Oh, I know where you're going with this. I saw this on X.
No, seriously.
Are they putting up new signs?
Yeah, exactly.
Then yes.
And the funniest thing in the whole world is, I mean, no disrespect at all. You know, if you want to name something over, you know, Charlie Kirk, cool, whatever. But nobody's going to call it that. Nobody really cares. Let's just be really honest. Nobody cares what the freaking freeway is called. It's the 202, and it will always be the 202. Because you call it the Charlie Kirk freeway, I'm going to look at you like you're absolutely insane.
Yeah, or you haven't lived in Arizona for very long.
Right.
Oh, we got a newbie.
That. But when I said 202 and you don't know what I'm talking about, that's on you.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, Holly, because there's an amphitheater in Kansas City that when we were in high school was called Sandstone. It was just Sandstone Amphitheater. And I mean, it's big enough that like Metallica and different good sized bands would go there.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere, I don't know when it was, if it was the late 90s or the 2000s, they renamed it. I can't even remember what they renamed it, but it was like AT&T Amphitheater or whatever. And everybody was like, you wasted like $10 million sponsoring the name, because no one is going to call it that. They're going to call it Sandstone. To this day, 30 years later, we still call it Sandstone Amphitheater.
You know, and so like that was a tweet saying, you know, somebody, it was like an Department of Arizona, whatever, saying, you know, that's official. They're going to rename it or whatever. And I said that. I said, no disrespect, but nobody's calling it that. It's the 202.
Yeah.
Somebody got mad at me.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it was all like, surprisingly, it was only one person. I thought I was going to get heat from like everybody, right?
Yeah.
But it was only one person. So I was like, whatever. This person called me Chubs. This person said I had a fat neck.
Wow.
Fat neck.
Yep. Said that I put filters on all my photos. And I'm like, does this person know me? Like,
No.
Because if you see me in person, I look, actually, you guys, like, not to like toot my own horn, but I am so far prettier in person than I am here.
You're tooting your own horn.
I am. I've been told. I know it. Yeah. So the fact that they called me Chubs was kind of hilarious. And the fat neck, the fat neck got me, because I'm like, oh, I hate my neck because you can see all my veins and stuff. Like, you know, the old neck is getting there.
Uh-oh.
But you had to call it fat? Like, why fat? So I had to cover it today because it doesn't look that fat with, you know, it being, yeah.
All right, to toot your horn for you, when my wife met you for the first time, I'll never forget it. I think it was after you guys came up here and everyone had left and we were kind of cleaned up a little bit, and we just sat down on the couch and she looked over at me and she goes, Holly really is pretty. I was like, okay, all right, you know, yeah. So that is funny though that they do that. But listen, what we talked about a little bit last week with B. So
this one was Joy Baird. Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not going to lie. I think I know who I think it's an old safe mooner trying to push Mahina now and BBTF, you know, our friend. I'm fairly certain because of the things that we're saying are very relative to what, and for whatever reason, Poles likes to try to come after my looks a lot. And so I'm like, is this his like weird ass burner account coming after me because he's over a Charlie Kirk freeway? Like it was really weird, but he is the first person that popped into my brain because of like he comes after me about my looks a lot.
Huh.
So,
that is weird because that to me is cheap insults. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to be smarter and I don't know, more witty than that.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that person. But no, I didn't tell you guys ahead of time, but we did talk about B last week. But then one of the shorts that we put out on our socials, I went ahead and tagged B. Did you see that on Friday?
No.
I didn't see.
So she didn't say anything.
Oh, damn.
Even though I tagged them. So I was still kind of hoping they might show up. But apparently they don't actually watch the podcast, which is fine. But those are the sort of people that seem to attack us all the time for some reason.
Well, I mean, I knew that they didn't watch the podcast just based on the fact that they called you bald.
Yeah, it's a little thin on top, but you can't see that on the podcast.
And so that's when I was like, okay, they're not. This person has no idea.
But once again, it's those people that I just guess they have to be miserable, right?
You know, that's the only thing that I can think of, honestly, because I I know, like for me, when I troll, it's over intelligence. You'll never see me commenting on anybody's looks because to me that's irrelevant. Who cares? Like,
well, and a lot of those things, those people can't do anything about. You know,
exactly.
can somebody lose some weight? Yeah.
Right? Like, how am I gonna lose weight in my neck? Do some exercise.
Workout.
What do you want
neck
me to do?
workouts.
But like, even if that was true, all I can think about is somehow it makes them feel better.
Oh yeah.
To put them down about themselves. That's the only logical solution. Because I just don't. Your looks are really not relative to each individual. You know what I mean? Everybody, some people may say, oh, Holly's pretty. Some people are like, oh, she's not my type. She's ugly. She has a fat neck. She has a skinny neck. It's all based off of your perception. So the fact that you feel like your perception is the only perception and everybody that you have to voice that, you have to be either A, you think very highly of yourself and everybody else is scum, or B, you're miserable. And that actually makes you feel better to say things like that out loud or in a tweet, like, because that's the only power you have.
Well, and when it comes to that too, what for us, and I can say this honestly, like it doesn't faze us. Like it is what it is. Okay, great. Make fun of us. Call me bald, call me fat, call me old, whatever. I may be all of those things. And that is fine. It is who I am. But some people do take that to heart. Well, and then they're chasing this perfection that they cannot achieve. You know, if somebody wants to get something done for their own personal reasons, so be it. But I know that there are people out there that are, say, getting their nose done or whatever because somebody has made fun of them so much that that's all they see when they look in the mirror. And that is sad. That's super sad.
Really, really sad. But I mean, it happens every single day, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And X just magnifies it.
Well, I was going to say, like, have you guys noticed? I mean, I have, because I have Instagram, I have Facebook, I have X, right? And I go on all three, and I can tell you confidently that X is a cesspool of negativity. When I go on even Instagram, people I don't even follow, I don't see stuff like that, like I do on X. And it's like, it's almost like it, you know, that's what X is. People gravitate towards X for, is the negativity. And that's what they're screaming freedom of speech is. And
I was going to say there's less penalties. Yeah, I would agree with that too. I would say that, well, this kind of be going a little bit something I was going to talk about last or later in the podcast too, but the freedom of speech thing, I do like. There are certain things that have popped up that I don't know that we would know anything about, like the Epstein Won the Powerball. I don't know if I would have ever heard of that if it wasn't for X.
I knew about this a while ago.
Oh, see, I never heard about it. But at the same time, people take that too far. But if you truly do have freedom of speech, where is that line?
Well, I know, because look how much freedom of speech is so freaking fake. And you have to figure out what's real, what's not. Like, and I find myself doing it more on X than any other platform. But like, it's strange to me because people are more wrong and more false than right on X.
Agreed.
And I hate the fact that I have to fact check everything that I read that I'm interested in just to see if it's true, because then it makes it like, oh, this is too much.
It's not enjoyable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Instead of it just being a place where you can gather information, especially on important things, you really have to double check. And sometimes I can't figure out if it's real or not by double checking. Because
there was something that even Grok was like, well, it seems to check out, but I'm not 100% sure. Like,
exactly. Or Grok will give somebody one answer to the same question and somebody else a different answer to the same question. Yeah. And that's what.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
No, and the first thing I do when I read something, I go into the comments because somebody says Grok is.
Somebody always does.
And so don't just read the first one.
No.
Read the next one that somebody else posted, because it is, like Josh said, completely different. And the other thing is, and like we verified this not too long ago, Gemini we were using Gemini, and Gemini actually had basketball picks wrong. Gemini yesterday said that Florida had lost before they even lost.
Wow. They did that to Arizona earlier on too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is funny.
Yep. And it's because these AIs, what they do is, it's open source. And so they're getting their sources from all different places. Just your regular person, that gets fed into there. So if you're wrong, it gets fed into there still.
Yep.
And that's where it's taking that information. And so when there's a whole lot of wrong, that's all Grok knows, is it's not necessarily like it doesn't know that it's wrong, because so many people have said that it's giving the wrong information out still.
It's getting its info from people that could be wrong.
That's exactly it.
And also people, and this has been going on for a while, but I've seen it more and more over the last couple of months. Everyone wants to be first, or they have this engagement post that they will put up so that people will get more replies and likes and all these different things and retweets. But what they're putting out there is so vague, or it doesn't really say anything. Have you guys seen the post where it's like 1, 2, 3, and then it says show more, but the show more is not clickable?
Oh, that's because they typed that there.
I know. And those people should be banned from X, because I cannot stand it. Here's what I do from here on out. Anybody that does that, I mute them. I'm just not going to see any more of their posts.
I think I should do that
now, because the show more in blue, that just means that it's a longer post, and it's only going to show you so many characters up front.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it when people type this thing. And of course, the one thing you actually want to know is where they've typed in show more, and there is nothing else.
Right.
And then you can see too in the replies of a lot of these posts, that's not how people talk. Well, these are either bots, or they're using Grok, or they're using Gemini or somebody to type this for them, because it's like, oh, with this interaction, then this should be an excellent TV show tonight or something. And I'm like, no one talks like that. Like, what are we doing? And so the misinformation is something that we are really, really going to have to work to know whether or not we're putting out real things or misinformation. And I think it's going to get harder and harder. Take the war, for example. How many different things did we hear over the weekend about what's going on in Iran?
So
I have no idea.
And so, they're going to stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We went from
time that Trump's came out and actually said this, actually himself, that the war was over, that it's, what was it, that they were backing down, all the things. And then you see, oh, the bomb just went off over at this industry, what's happening?
Well, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, how much of that is real? How much of that is AI? How much is that is just engagement farming? How much of that is actually real? Yeah. And because like what I've been noticing over it was about 4 hours ago, I saw a bunch of things come up on the news that said that Trump said that he's having good discussions with Iran, and they have agreed not to have nuclear weapons, which means that they are still willing to discuss things. And he believes maybe there is an end to this. Okay, is that real?
The stock market actually at open, it actually was in favor of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't looked.
So I saw a guy today that said, if you really want to know what's going on in any war, follow the money.
Yeah.
The money will tell you what's going on. And what happened today, like you said, is, dude, people were predicting doom and gloom for this morning when the market was going to open up. And so I actually was really paying attention to it too. Like, hey, what's going to happen to some of the things that I own? And as real as a Kentucky coach put in, yeah, we'll get into March Madness here in a little bit, but follow the money. People aren't making $1 billion bets.
No,
they're putting this kind of institutionalized money into things they know. Yeah. And some of it's still shady, because somebody made like a $1.5 million bet on the stocks going up on futures and made a ton of money. And the only people that would have known anything about what was going on in Iran would have been people that were in a room in Washington
Right.
And so somebody got on the phone and said something to somebody, but at the same time, follow the money and you'll kind of know what's going on. And so I do have hope because listen, I think that there are reasons why we get into wars, right? There are good reasons for war at times, but I'm never in favor of war. I don't want people to have to go somewhere and get killed and fight for, different things. I would rather everybody be peaceful. So I'm hoping that maybe it is real. Maybe the money and the rumors and all that stuff is going to show that in a couple of weeks, maybe we do have a peace deal. I don't know. Maybe the strait will be open, oil will flow, gas will go down. I don't know it, but it's to circle it all the way back around. The consumers of social media are really going to have to dig in, and we are really going to have to do our homework. We cannot just take things for face value, and it's only going to get worse.
I have a job. I don't need another to figure out.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the energy to do that. So whatever, I guess.
But I also don't trust my local news because it's the same crap every night. And they will flood the markets with, say, like the Guthrie case, and then it will just go away.
We have, that's a lie. Because they put out something on social media over the weekend, our news covered it. But there was a time where like it got quiet, you didn't hear anything. Like, and it's here in Arizona that this has happened, and we're not hearing it, right? So,
but if it was such a big deal 3 weeks ago, why wasn't it still a big deal when everybody got silent? You know what I mean?
You know what?
They've moved on to something else.
Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
It's because something else is new and shiny, and we got to talk about this. So let's just push this to the side. And here, little Nancy, 84 years old, is just forgotten.
Done.
Yeah.
So,
I have my theories on that whole thing to begin with.
Well, I wanted to ask you though, since you live in Arizona, have you heard anything more about it? Because I literally have not heard anybody speak about it in
the whole thing,
almost 2 weeks, probably.
I mean, the only thing, that you hear about it amongst other people who are talking about it here, we all have the same sentiment that something just isn't right with the whole thing. It just isn't right. The way that, Sheriff Nanos dropped the ball a lot. Like, he was just, and there was some weird things going on. And then the thing that got me was the first person that Savannah called was Mark Kelly, which is our senator. No.
Oh, really?
Our something. Yeah, he was our senator, right? And so why him? It was just there's a lot of things that just don't add up with the whole case, and I'm praying that it is all a hoax and that she is okay.
Yeah,
but that hoax has been going on for a while now.
Well, I mean, you got to keep it going. You can't just say, "Oh, we found her." There's got to be something.
So
she's in the basement.
What are we covering up then?
There's a lot I think they're covering up, particularly with the ties that they have. You do know that Savannah did an interview with survivors of Epstein. And so there's that. The husband has ties to Epstein, the government, his business partner has ties to, sold his house to Obama. It's some shit. Yeah. So I think the whole thing, I don't want to say that it's fake. I don't want to say, I would hope it is, because I just can't think of a little 84-year-old woman, if she is not deceased, still alive, kidnapped. Yeah. Like, that's scary. And then, she has to walk with a cane. She needs medication for her heart. Like, there's just a lot. There's a lot. And I guess as the family, I wouldn't give up hope either.
No.
I would still, keep going out and saying all the things, even though there has to be some kind of feeling one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wants an 84-year-old lady to be a pawn in somebody else's game.
No.
At least not a decent human being anyways.
But the weird thing is there were so many theories flying around. I mean, even with, it being cartel and it wasn't illegal. And even Trump came out and started saying some of that craziness. But then the family's like convinced that somebody knows something that's within the neighborhood. And
Would make
I don't
sense.
know. The whole thing is so weird. It's so not right. I am just praying for a great outcome. I don't care if it's a hoax. If it came out and they said, I'd be like, oh, okay, you guys are assholes, but thank goodness the 84-year-old woman is
I'd
good.
still want to know why there was a hoax, but I'm with you 100%. At least she would still be okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if there is innocence in this, it's her. You know what I mean?
She was like a crazy, she
Really?
was real political herself and not in favor of Trump.
Well, I want to go check out a couple comments here that I missed. So, Bearded B, go to a post that we put out on Friday of a short there. We tagged B in that post. Then you can go to that person's, I say that person because we're not sure if it's male or female. You can go to their page, scroll down to the Friday before, and you can see all the craziness that happened on their page. So yeah, I guess that's about all I needed to talk about there. But hold on.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Rudy.
Happy birthday.
We're waiting for you.
We've been waiting the whole time. You have to go back and watch the beginning when we gave you your shout out, but we were going to play the happy birthday song whenever you showed up. So happy birthday, Rudy. Good to see you here. Hey,
Rudy's right, though. They better pay back all the money spent. That is correct.
I would agree because there has been times, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want to get political, but there's been different times where there have been hoax out there, and there has been a lot of money that's been spent on law enforcement and just different things like that. Those people at minimum should have to pay all of that money back. Plus, I think if something like that turns out to be fake, somebody's got to be punished for it. Somebody's got to go to jail or something. Otherwise, you're going to have copycats doing it just for the notoriety of it. A lot of times they try to hide some of the details of some of the craziness that happens because they don't want copycats. And in this instance, I think you would see that too. So yeah. But speaking of craziness, have you been seeing what's happening with TSA?
That's not.
So yeah, so they expect them to work, but they don't want to pay them. And now I think starting today, that was the first one that popped into my head, Rudy, was the Jesse.
Right?
Yeah. But starting today, TSA is now at the airports. Now, from what I've seen, they are not ICE. Sorry, ICE is now at the airports. From what I've seen, ICE is in support of TSA, helping with the lines and this and that, not necessarily doing TSA's job. But how long will it be until they do that? Because how long are you going to go to work if you are not getting paid?
Well, ICE is still getting paid.
No, ICE is, but what about the TSA agents?
Oh, I know. And then, you know what? It's funny because Meg said ice, baby. And I literally was thinking that in my head. But who's to say that ICE doesn't just take over TSA altogether?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
We got they know what to do, even better.
What? I know I'm old, okay? Old, fat, and bald, right? According to me. But why did TSA start? What started TSA? Does anybody remember?
9/11, wasn't it?
Okay, 9/11. Before 9/11, for those of us that can remember flying before 9/11,
we used to be able to go see you off.
Yes, you literally could walk your friends to the gate. Nobody checked you. The only person that checked you was whatever airline that you flew on to get to, like for us, Southwest is a big one. So a Southwest agent would check our bags, check our tickets. They would let us board the plane. That was it. There wasn't anything else. Yeah, Rudy, I don't blame you. She said because of all the TSA issues, she drove all the way from Florida instead of being delayed on a flight. I get it.
Yeah.
But I am wondering, 9/11 was a long time ago, right? And I'm not saying there still aren't threats, because I know there are threats. But in this day and age of technology, is there not some sort of scanner we just can't walk through and make sure people don't have guns and bombs?
We already have one.
Then why do we need all those people, and why do we have to have 3-hour lines?
That I don't understand it, because
I feel like it's a way to funnel money.
I get frisked every time.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I swear there is something in my stomach that
no. It has nothing to do with that.
No, yes, it's in the same spot every time. It's like where if I wore a belt,
you are an attractive lady, and that is why you get pulled to the side.
No, because I always get frisked by a woman.
This fat old bowling guy has never been frisked ever, and I got way more places to hide things than you do.
Do you know that they always ask me, do you want to go in a room or do you want to do it right here? And I'm like, frisk me right here. And I do it on purpose. Like, let's do it right here.
Yeah. Do you want to go to a room? That sounds like a really bad movie.
Yeah, they do. Do you want to go to a room or
boom chicka wow wow?
I'm like, I don't have time to go in a room. Frisk me now. Like,
but do you think it's possible that this could be the beginning of the end of TSA?
I hope so. Well, shit. I don't know.
Cool. So let me ask you this. This is where my brain goes. This is how I think of things. What caused us to have TSA? 9/11 and the panic behind it, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So is it possible that the panic of people not being able to ever get on a plane again might cause them to be like, okay, we're cool with not having TSA and we'll walk through these scanners and go back to the way things used to be beyond that point?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mike says it's too much money.
Possibly, but somebody's going to make a lot of money with these sophisticated scanners, and you're still going to have some people, because if you got the thumbs down, somebody's going to have to come get you.
No, he's saying the Department of TSA, like TSA.
Oh, I think it's a great way to funnel a lot of money.
Yeah.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, and the thing is, do you know that you no longer have to take off your shoes? Like, why did we have to take off our shoes to begin with? And now nothing changed. Nothing changed. It's still the same scanner, but I don't got to take off my shoes now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't know about you, but we used to have the option of either walking into the thing where you had to put your hands up and it spun around you or not. Mm-hmm. But now in KCI, there is no option. You have to walk through the thing. Like that's the only way through. Mm-hmm. So obviously some things are changing a little bit. But can common sense win out a little bit in this situation? At some level, there's got to be a better way than what they do now. One, why does the person at TSA even care what plane I'm getting on and has to check my ticket?
Some are really rude to people.
A lot of them are.
I've never encountered somebody rude to me, but I have seen it. And I'm like, oh, here we go. He's going to be mean and I'm going to be mean back. And then it doesn't work out that way. But they're not very friendly.
No,
really,
and
I don't get it.
But I don't understand why those people at the front of the airport need to know what flight I'm getting on and who I am. All they really need to know is if I am a danger to someone.
That's how I feel.
You know, because
or if I have an open water bottle.
Too much liquid. Now, I guess there's probably no flight lists and things like that, and people would use fake IDs. But if it's good enough fake ID, that TSA agent ain't paying a close enough attention to know if it's real or not.
Well, but they put it through that little scanner thing, right? Like it goes in there and it tells you what flight, just based off my ID. It tells them what flight and everything I'm checked into.
Well, that is true, because the last time I flew, they didn't mark my ticket. You
don't need your
you don't need your boarding pass.
Like,
for that.
I had it out getting ready to scan, and they're like, "Oh no, I just need your ID." Yeah. And then, do you want to hear something else that's messed up?
Sure.
So you know how they put in effect the real ID that literally just has a star. I don't even know if I think I have stars on both. Anyway, I had to go to San Antonio. We had to go for my brother's wedding, and I didn't have my real ID. And so I was panicking. I went into the DMV, got all the things, got the paper, because, it takes 2 weeks to ship in the mail.
Yeah.
So I got the paper. We get there. I give him my paper, and I'm like, here's this. And he was like, oh, that's not a thing anymore. Your real ID works. Your other ID, your original ID works.
Huh.
They did not give two shits about my real ID. They didn't even want to see the paper. And then the next time around, we went to fly. I just gave him my regular ID, didn't say a word. Nothing, not a word. So the real ID is not a thing anymore.
I think all it was more information gathering for the government.
That and it cost what, $25 per freaking person.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money.
Do the math.
Here in Missouri, we had that problem because we were one of like 3 states at one point that our IDs were not valid federally because of, I guess, of the quality. I don't really remember what it was. So the real ID thing was a big thing. And they kept pushing it like 6 months, you have to have a real ID. And then it was like, oh no, 6 more months. Oh no, it's 2000, whatever. And I think that I'm not sure that we've actually reached the deadline. And this was a decade ago that this was happening.
Well, no, they did push it back for us. And then it was like May of 2026, or 2025, you had to have it. And so I pushed.
I finally got one.
I wasn't like flying anywhere. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get the real ID. So I went in and got it. And then just to be told, oh, that's not a thing anymore. What?
And on your ID was the only thing different was like some weird star at the top, right?
Star,
yeah.
Me too.
And it's in black and white. Whereas my actual picture is in my original ID.
Your picture is black and white?
My picture on the real ID is black and white. All of it.
Oh, mine's not.
Oh, mine's not. Yeah.
That is weird. Yeah, Bearded, the real ID is your driver's license.
Yeah,
it just has a star on the top right corner, and they've been threatening for years to not let you fly if you didn't have the star.
Well, and then at one point, this is another thing over here, and I don't know if it was everywhere, but I know for sure in Phoenix that there was a time period of like a month or two that after, the real ID went into effect, if you didn't have it, you paid an extra like $28 or $48. I can't remember which one it was. And you had to go through extra precautions if you wanted to use your original ID. You could still get through TSA, but you had to pay. And you had to, I don't know what else you had to do, but you had to go in a separate line where they, I think, checked your shit even more than they do through the scanners.
Sounds like a money grab.
It absolutely was. It absolutely
get a private room. So let me ask you this. We are all meeting up in about 5 weeks. Think that TSA is going to be fixed by then?
It better be. If not, I'm driving. I'm not going to deal with all that shit.
I told Caleb the same thing. It's not far for you, but it's 20 hours for us.
Yeah.
I told Caleb at some point, if it gets worse or we see a bunch of flights canceling, we may end up having to drive too.
Yeah, I don't. We still have what, two-ish months?
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Oh, so a little over a month.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. I think this is all just another
political game.
Yes, that's all it is.
It's funny how they keep playing all these stupid political games, and the only people it hurts is actually the citizens. And I've seen videos of them escorting congressmen and women past all the stuff right to their planes, and they don't even have to worry about it. While there's a 6-hour line sitting in Atlanta, and people they're missing flights. People are getting there 4 hours early, and they're still not making their flights.
Well, they were showing, so here in Sky Harbor, they closed down 2 of the gates. So like, I think it's gates A and D, they closed, but B and C are still open or something along those lines. They closed 2. We have 2 open. And on the news this morning, they showed the line. It was so far that I can assure you that if I went to the airport and saw that line, I would turn right back around and go home and say, screw this, either figure out a way to drive or just not go. Because it was that bad. I would have been late because I don't show to the airport 6 hours ahead of time. I show up an hour and a half-ish because that's normal.
Yeah. We usually get there about 2 hours ahead of time because we leave with plenty of time in case we would get a flat tire or something like that.
Right.
But besides that, I don't want to be there 8 hours early. If I was going to do that, I would be in Colorado by that time on the road headed to go see you guys. So at some point it makes 0 sense, but
I agree.
It's all of these things that should be easy are too freaking hard nowadays. And somewhere along the line, they got to get it figured out. But I don't think they care enough, because TSA, I think we have all agreed on, is some sort of a money grab or laundering or something. But that's not the only crazy thing that happened at the airport. Did you see that Air Canada jet? What? Wow. Who sent you that?
Meg, of course.
You should send that back to whoever that person was. That.
Ooh, I like my hair that color.
Yeah.
You look like Becky Lynch.
Oh,
can you guys hear that dog howling?
No.
Good. Good thing I invested in a good microphone, because that's all I can hear is the neighbor's dog. For some reason, he's decided to put this husky outside at 6 a.m. in the morning and while we film the podcast. I don't know why.
It's a husky, and they are talkers.
Oh, man.
Yep, I have one. That's why I know.
So did you guys see that the Air Canada plane hit a fire truck?
No, I saw like the caption here that you had March Madness full effect, TSA nightmares, and plane crash. What?
Yeah. So to get into the story a little bit more, apparently this plane was actually who called the fire department, because they were smelling like an electrical burning smell. And I don't guess they got taken off, but they were moving pretty fast down the runway, and a fire truck pulled out in front of them and they just smashed it. Now I laugh, but people did die. Some people died. The pilot, I think both the pilot and co-pilot died. That plane was sitting like this and the front end of it was like destroyed. And the first thing I thought of was, if a plane hits a fire truck, Meg said the plane was landing. Okay. But if a plane hits a fire truck and it destroys the front end, how can we still believe that a plane flew into the World Trade Center and destroyed reinforced steel building? Mm-hmm. And I've also seen the video of like the wing that clipped the light post and it cut the wing in half.
Yeah.
Like the light post stay standing.
I think it kind of got knocked down, but it cut the wing, like it embedded itself in the wing, like almost cut it off. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so once again, back to the misinformation part. I'm getting exhausted trying to figure out what's real and what's not real, because I don't really trust.
Time though that the World Trade Centers was, and I don't want to discredit that, because holy crap, like
I agree with you,
right? But I have heard these conspiracies for a really long time. But I think it was maybe your post. Did you post something about that?
No.
Okay, then somebody random, because I did see a post about specifically what you just said from somebody random, and I'm like, what is he talking about, right? And that's why I didn't know but they said the same thing. How can this plane get demolished yet hit the World Trade Center and crash that down without like, how is that possible? Well, I don't think you're the only one thinking this.
No, I know I'm not, but and it's also, to me, it's a little bit of a hard topic to talk about, because there were still 4 airplanes full of people that something happened to those people, whether they were on that plane or not.
All the people in the buildings.
Yeah. I mean, so
it's hard to speak on it.
Agreed. Because I don't want to be one of the people that adds to the misinformation, but man, whenever you see different things over a period of time happening, and then our explanation of how the Twin Towers were taken out, it starts to make you go, hasn't make much sense, and just different things like that. But I don't believe that this plane crash was a distraction of things that are that are happening, but it's just super weird that all of the stuff that's happening in the world, and then, I don't know. Are you ever afraid to fly? Have you ever been afraid to fly?
No. However, this is going to sound crazy. I have this weird anxiety about flying that causes me to think of all the worst case scenarios.
Ditto. That's me. I am not scared of it. But as soon as I get on that long, stupid cylinder thing where I have zero control over anything that happens, Every worst case scenario pops into my head.
Everything. Like, okay, like especially when I'm traveling with Melly. She's like the very first thing that pops in my head. Okay, so if something happens, this is what I've got to do to somehow try to protect her. Which I can't, right? Like, but I do think of all of the worst case scenarios every time I fly. But I'm not scared enough about it to not fly.
I'm with you 100%. It's like I can suck it up for the 3 hours and then I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. But
then I start doing statistics in my brain, and a plane crash is actually like you're more likely to get in a car wreck than you are in a plane crash. And so like that is comforting to me. So I'm like, well, if I would have drove, I could have, crashed, but I'm flying. And I don't know.
Yeah, and we can make statistics say whatever they want to, because what's the statistics on that car crash of you dying in it? Right. You know what I mean? It could be a fender bender or whatever. But yeah, King posted about Howard Lutnick. Yeah, I've looked into all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I do believe that there are such things as coincidences. Like sometimes things just are coincidences, but I don't know if that's a coincidence when it comes to Mr. Howard not being in the building that day.
And I agree with Rudy. Like she says, I believe the planes hit and there were explosives of it. Well, I've actually seen people pointing that out. And I don't, again, it's like, how real is this? Because you don't actually know. But especially add up, and some things exploded prior to like the impact. So there was just not a lot of adding up. So I agree that there was both. And I wouldn't put it past some of our higher ups to have orchestrated this whole freaking thing.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean, hate saying that though. I hate it. It actually pains me coming out of my mouth to have to say that, because those are the people we look to protect us. So
yeah, but they don't like us.
Yeah, they don't.
I say this all the time on X. We do not hate our government enough.
No, we're funding you guys. We are funding you, but you hate us.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, the only way it's ever going to get any better, unless we just get lucky enough to actually vote people in and actually do what they say they're going to do, is to quit funding them. But like we talked about,
I don't want to go to jail.
I know, that's what we talked about a couple months ago, is we still, as an American, as a public, we still have this fear of having to pay these taxes because we've been programmed our entire lives to do the right thing, right? Whatever that was, whatever that is, whatever situation we're talking about. And so, okay, I'll pay this couple $1,000 here, or maybe, whatever you owe in taxes, and because that's what I'm supposed to do. And because if, Holly, you decide that I'm not going to pay him this year, well, guess what? You will go to jail.
I know.
But if you and like 5 million other people go, no, I'm not paying my taxes.
But we can't get people to get on board with that. And I can't figure out why, other than they're all scared. And it's going to take, a group of people that says we're doing this, and everybody bands together and actually follows through.
But how many of those people are going to lie and they're going to go, yeah, I didn't pay my taxes. And then we show the check on the next podcast. No, Holly says she didn't pay her taxes. I have proof she did. I'm with you 100%. But that's why change is hard, right? Yeah. I mean, think about just like the American Revolution. It did take people meeting in the back of bars to come up with a plan and to recruit people with the fear of being put to death if they were caught. But they caught on, and they went and fought a revolution over taxes.
Really?
And
all right.
But it wasn't even what they won't even tax nearly what we are.
After I already did my taxes, let's start.
Exactly.
Fun fact, I have not done my taxes yet. I am waiting till the last minute. Because I don't think I'm going to I don't think I'm going to get anything significant back, but I'm going to prove a point. I'm waiting till the last minute.
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah, I actually got quite a bit. My tax bill was quite less this year. Like 80% less. But Caleb's was almost exactly what it was last year. and we can't figure out why. So
it's pretty high.
Yeah, and I don't. So here's what: when it comes to taxes, I usually do my taxes around the first, second week of March, but I don't necessarily submit them or pay for them. But I also don't wait till April 15th. I usually pay it around April 1st just to make sure it goes through. And
I don't give a
that
shit.
sort of deal.
I'm waiting. This is the first time I've waited even this long. And I can tell you it's on my mind every day. It's like, Holly, just do your freaking taxes. And I don't want to. I'm trying.
Your taxes should be pretty straightforward though, right?
Well, no. I mean, I have my house and I have to itemize my shit. I can say like my investments and shit aren't anything crazy, but I do have to claim it.
Well, yeah, it depends on where those investments are.
My stocks?
Yeah, no, you can't get away from that.
Yeah.
Your animals.
Yeah, your zoo tax deductible.
They should be tax deductible. I don't know.
If you were charging admission, they might be able to be an expense.
Maybe I should start my own business.
There you go.
And then I'll have all kinds of tax write-offs. That's what people do.
Oh yeah. Just start an LLC.
Yeah, I should.
In the state of Missouri, you can lose, and this might be federally, I don't know, but I know in the state of Missouri, you can make no money for 3 years before they might possibly shut down your LLC, and you can just use it as a tax write-off. And then guess what? You can do it again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Holly and the Bros LLC, we actually were going to do that.
On my
we
car,
we don't make any money.
Write it off for taxes.
There we go.
Ah, okay. See, you're smart. You don't just have a fat neck.
No, I mean, it's not my fat neck.
Yeah. So March Madness, we got to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, it was like the second thing on the list, and then you kept mentioning things that were further down the list. So March Madness, we are to the Sweet 16. How is your bracket?
Oh, can we not discuss that part yet?
Oh no, we told everybody we were going to update. We were going to update the bracket. How is your bracket, Caleb? How's your bracket?
That's amazing.
Oh,
you want to tell the people what happened?
I guess I didn't submit it or something. I don't know what happened. I filled it out, but it didn't save.
Caleb is in last place with 0 points. So I actually, do you know who that is in first place right now? The Fantastic?
No.
Okay, well, that's the guy. That guy's in first place. You want to know who's in second place?
Mike D.
Tied with?
You.
No.
I thought you were up.
I'm fourth. Well, third, but yeah.
Oh,
Rudy.
So you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, always.
So I get a DM Thursday morning, like 30 minutes before the tournament starts. And I know it's Rudy's birthday, but I'm going to sell her out. Okay. Because it's funny.
Okay.
Rudy, I love you. Okay. But still, I got to tell the story.
Oh, Lord.
And she's having a really, really hard time submitting the bracket, and she's never filled out a bracket before. Okay. So that's cool. Hey, I'm all about. Oh, she was texting you too. I didn't know this. Okay. So she was keeping it a secret. So I'm all about helping her out. Right. And then finally she's like, it won't take my bracket. Like I have it all submitted. I've changed my name, but it won't let me submit it. It's like it wants me to pick all the other games too. And I said, what? She goes, well, I picked the first round games, but I don't know who's playing in the other round. So how am I supposed to pick a winner for those? I was like, Rudy, that's the whole point.
You have to pick them all.
And she was like, oh, like, I think she said something about, that's kind of dumb. I was like, it would be a lot easier if you could just wait until the first round games. Because I'm sitting there going, what's going on with this app? Why won't it let it submit it? And she's sending me pictures and I'm sending her pictures. And then it hits me. She doesn't realize she has to pick it all the way through. And with that being said, she's in second place. And for most of the weekend, she was in first place. And I told her that was probably what was going to happen. And she still is in second place and probably going to beat me. So I will tell you this up front, that Vandy and my heart is what got me in trouble in this bracket. because I picked Mizzou to do some stuff they've never done before, and they didn't do it. They did what they always do and lose in the first round. So I'm probably going to settle in somewhere around 4th or 5th place, to be my guess. So, who was that team for you, Holly?
Gonzaga.
How far did you have them going?
I had them going to playing us in the Elite Eight. Hold on, let me look right now.
Yeah, I had Gonzaga losing to.
Gonzaga, where are you?
No, I had Gonzaga beating or losing to. I had them losing to Missouri in the Sweet 16 because I really wanted Missouri to play Arizona.
Yeah. So, my company won too. So I'll have to look on my others. But let's see. I had Missouri beating Miami, and then them playing did I just say Missouri? Yeah, and then Purdue. No, Gonzaga. Holly beating Gonzaga. They did. Then they beat. I had them. What is
Purdue?
This is not right. No, BYU. I picked BYU to beat Texas, but then Texas beat Gonzaga, and then I had Gonzaga into beating Purdue and then coming to Arizona. That's the Elite Eight.
Yeah. So you want to know the saddest thing that happened in March Madness over the last 4 days?
Is that the Elite Eight? That might have been the Final Four, Josh.
Oh.
No, just kidding. Elite Eight for sure. Okay. CBS's bracket is so weird to me.
I'm telling you, didn't we do that? No, it was fantasy football with Interlink one time. We used some site that was horrendous in the way that they did their fantasy football. The site that you play on matters a lot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But
CBS is so hard.
The saddest thing that I saw over the last 4 days was our friend Bearded. It was his birthday, and he picked Wisconsin to win the whole thing, and they lost on his birthday in round one.
You know what? That was shocking, actually. I think that busted a lot of people's brackets. Because they're good. They're a good team. I cannot believe they lost. I really can't.
So I actually picked them to lose in the first round.
Huh?
And I actually picked them to lose in the first round.
What?
You jinxed them, Josh?
I guess.
Bearded, blame Josh. Blame.
But here's the thing. Yeah. Did you guys happen to see the post that the UNC Police Department, Greensboro, I think it is, put out that said, "Do not call us about your brackets or North Carolina losing"? Stop. Did you see that post in X?
No.
So I responded with it with a screenshot of my pick because I had UNC losing to VCU.
Yeah.
And
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that post got like 50, I don't know. I think the last time I saw it was like 40,000 impressions. And people were yelling at me and screaming at me, telling me that I was faking it and that wasn't a screenshot from my computer and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I do not care enough to fake this. Like, I just thought it would be funny to be, hey, no problem. Because in North Carolina, I'm not a huge fan. Like, it's cool that they lose. You know, that the whole point of March Madness is to be able to poke people a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But man, people got mad. But we did get a lot of impressions. So thanks for the impressions. We appreciate that.
That game was a damn good game.
Yeah, it was. VCU is good, though.
VCU is good. VCU is good.
So who's your surprise? Like where they are right now, who do you think the surprise of the tournament is?
Texas.
Okay. So
you want to hear something crazy about Texas?
Okay.
Their coach is Arizona's old coach, Sean Miller.
Yeah.
And there is a strong possibility if Texas can get past Purdue and we can get past Arkansas, we play against each other.
And that's possible.
Yeah. It's very possible.
I've seen Texas play a couple times this year, and they are pretty tough. When they got in there, I had picked BYU to win, but that was one of those games that I was thinking, I should have picked the other. Because they had to play the play-in game too.
Yeah, but Texas, I actually picked Texas on our bracket, our Holly and the Bros. On the other one, I didn't. I picked BYU. But on ours, I did pick Texas. However, I was very torn with that game. And that's why on one bracket, I picked one and the other. But I had watched Texas games throughout the season, and they were not this team. The team that is playing right now was not how they played during the season.
Yeah, it's like everybody stepped up a little bit more than what I'd seen them in the past. But I got to tell you, I think in some aspects, Iowa is that team for me that I'm more surprised about than I am even Texas, because their coach, he is actually from a D2 school here in Missouri.
Oh, really?
Northwest Missouri State, where actually our father graduated from. And he took all those players to, was it Drake last year?
Yeah.
And made the tournament, then got the Iowa job because he's from Iowa.
Wow.
And took a lot of those players with him there too. And they are in the Sweet 16. They beat the defending national champions. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of run they can make. And he's a solid coach. I was actually upset that the University of Missouri didn't hire him. And instead he had to go to a place like, I think it was Drake. But he probably still would have left to go back home. You know, I mean, most coaches, that's their dream, is to be able to coach back home. So kudos to him, but I think that's kind of surprising, and I'm interested to see. But in a weird way, I knew Iowa State was good because I've seen them play several times, but man, nobody has touched them in this tournament. I think they've beaten everybody by at least 20. I think they're going to go on a run. I think I actually have them in the Final Four versus Arizona, with Arizona beating them in the Final Four.
Yeah, so, that'll be third time's a charm.
Yeah. Can you guys split, right?
No, we beat them outright.
You beat them
on my birthday. Then we played them again in the tournament, the Big 12 tournament.
That's right. You don't play twice in the regular season anymore because you got 16 teams.
So some teams we do, and there's certain teams that we only play once.
So I used to know a lot about the Big 12 because that's where Mizzou was, and then they went to the SEC. And then I quit kind of following the Big 12, except for Kansas, because I like to see them lose, which they did. So that was awesome. So they can go away. And now people are talking about Bill Self may possibly retire.
Oh, really?
I think there's a lot of pressure for him to retire. Yeah. He's only made it out of the first round one time in the last 4 years, I think they said. And for a blue blood, that's not awesome. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Don't really care because I just like to see him do bad.
You know who I was actually surprised? And really, I don't know why it made me kind of happy. Nick Pitino for St. John's.
Rick.
Yeah. Did I call him Nick?
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's where he went.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw him, I think it was yesterday, I was like, is that Pitino? Like, what the hell? And then, but yeah, he's like actually done really well for St.
Didn't he get in some trouble at Louisville? Yeah. Isn't that why he left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it paying players or something?
No. Well, that's the rumor about Self.
Yeah, it wasn't players.
That's the rumor about Self, is that now that everybody pays players, he can't coach because it's a not very well kept secret that Kansas has been playing people for a really, really long time.
Right.
And if you've ever been to Lawrence, you know why, because you pretty much have to get people to go there.
Oh.
But also, is it Calipari is in Arkansas? Mm-hmm. So you have some really big name coaches that are still in this. I think Izzo's Michigan State team. I mean,
yeah,
I saw something that I thought was hilarious. In Michigan State, all of the calendars, they are January, February, Izzo, April, May. They changed the month of March to Izzo.
That's awesome.
But it's true. I don't know. Even since I was a kid in high school, Michigan State's always done well in the tournament, even when you didn't hear anything about them. Like, he's got to be one of the all-time greats. He has to.
I actually think Michigan State is going to end their run, and I think UConn is going to beat them.
I do too. That's what I have them. I have them picked to lose to UConn, but this whole thing may come down to whether or not your school or Rudy's school wins. Because if UConn wins the whole thing, Rudy's probably going to win the whole thing. But if Arizona wins, well, actually, you probably won't win. Mike D probably will.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm at the point where it's like, as long as my team's still in there, I don't care about my brackets.
Mizzou, though, honestly, Holly, this is the longest they've lasted in the tournament for a long time. You know why? Because they were the last game to tip off in the first round. They tipped off at like 9:00 at night on Friday, and they lost. But
yeah, I do have to say that the team that showed up yesterday to play Utah State, if that team shows up on Thursday, we ain't winning.
No.
Sorry, like I am a diehard, but I can admit that they played terribly. And the craziest thing is not one time did we trail Utah State or even tie them. We were up pretty much by 5 at least the entire game. But the entire game, I had a pit in my stomach because I saw the way they were playing, and I'm like, all it takes is Utah State to go on a run. We just got freaking lucky. I mean, beyond all luck that they couldn't make a point to save their lives. They couldn't hit a 3, and they were shooting their little hearts out. But one thing I can say is their defense was unlike anything we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
All year so far, all season long. We haven't seen the press like that.
I'm telling you, as an old coach, a defense wins games in tournaments like this because you can have bad shooting nights, but defense doesn't take nights off.
They were handsy. They were scrappy. Like they were fast. Their defense was fast, and we haven't hit that yet. We haven't ran into that. To be completely honest with you, I think it stunned them. They didn't know what to do with them. Not one time this year have we gotten a call for 10 seconds. Not one time. 3 times yesterday.
I've seen a lot of 5-second violations in this tournament too.
Oh, definitely.
Which is surprising.
But we couldn't get the ball down the court. And do we not practice that? Like, that's one of the easiest kind of like to break the press. It's kind of easy.
I used to love when people would press us. We would just get layups.
Yeah.
Like, bring it on. Let's go.
We could not do it to save our lives. And I'm not sure. I really hope Lloyd takes a look, rewatches film, and figures out how to adjust. Because if they thinks for a minute that these other teams aren't doing that same thing to see how did Utah actually stop them like they did, and then figure out, it's just pressing. Okay. Like, I need to have a chat with Lloyd. We need to get together.
I'm sure with the talent and the athletes that they have that it won't take one practice and they'll have a good press break in. But I think sometimes the problem with practicing the press and things like that too, though, is it's hard to mimic the speed of a game with the adrenaline in practice. It just is. And unless you have some fun drills that you can do to keep tempo up, that's the best way to be able to teach press break that I found anyways.
But I feel like, again, I need to have a chat with Floyd to really, we need to go over these things because I feel like we also need to get better and faster with our passing. Like when we have the ball. Because
that nonchalant passing.
Yes. And as you're watching Michigan, Duke, they're fast. They are fast. So that not only will help our offense, but it will help our defense on how to navigate and stop them at those fast passes.
Yeah.
I really think I need
to
help.
I've always said that offensive basketball takes skill, but defensive basketball takes heart. You have got to want it to play defense. It is a mindset. If you do not have that mindset, or you stayed up too late the night before, or you did stuff, you took somebody too lightly, it's a mental mindset that if you don't bring it, it's a hard switch to flip in the middle of a game too. Like you have got to show up at tip off to make that work. So you know what? I just figured out why TSA keeps frisking you.
Oh, why?
You said it's always in your stomach. Must be that pit.
Maybe.
The pit in your stomach is setting off that radar, that whatever that is, radar, X-ray. Yeah.
Defense is I love the defense.
Yeah. Me too.
I love it. Especially Arizona has really good defense. They really do when they play. But what I really think is they really underestimated Utah State. And because it kind of showed it throughout the game, like just how they were just going slow, or they went out the night before to, gaslight section, or what is it, the downtown San Diego, and had too much fun and we're tired. I don't know, but stop.
It's possible. I will tell you too, though, matchups are big in basketball, and sometimes because Arizona's got good guards, but they also got good post players. And sometimes if you just extend your defense, it's that much harder to get the ball into your post players. And so it could have just been a bad matchup because they've played so well all year. I have a really hard time thinking that they would get to this point in the season and not take someone serious.
Charles Barkley, he's like a super Arizona fan. He is a believer. Not yesterday. He was like, this was the worst basketball I've seen all season. And it really was that game yesterday. But what's funny is he said that the first half, he was like, that's the worst half of basketball I've seen them play this year. Then the second half came and they came out looking good. Like, okay, maybe we're going to run away with this. And then they decided to fall asleep. And I'm like, that was the worst half I think I've seen. I think the second half was worse than the first.
Let me ask you something about Charles Barkley. Do you like the crews that they have for the halftime and post game and pregame?
I do.
I can't stand them.
Oh my gosh. I love the banter. Because they're all different.
I feel like they don't know anything about college basketball. They sit there and they're talking about different things. I'm like, have you watched this team play yet all year? Like, I can't remember the exact things, but I saw it on True TV. I saw it on, what was it, TNT, CBS. Was there another channel there were some games on? And they had different crews for halftime. Like Jamal Mashburn was on one of them. Charles Barkley, obviously. But I can't help but think that can't be the best they have.
They've done it for so many years.
But I still can't stand them. I've never been able to stand it.
Oh, I don't know. I guess it would just, for me, because they've done it, at least, Charles has done it for a while. I don't think it would be really weird for me not to have them there.
Yeah, I think it's time for a change.
Well, who would you use?
I don't know, but there's got to be some guys out there that, well, I say there's got to be. I mean, think about the ESPN people that used to be doing the play-by-plays that are no longer around and who they've subbed in for them. Maybe there aren't any better people anymore. I don't know, but it just seems, it just doesn't seem to fit like the atmosphere for me. I don't know. I feel like it should be bigger. Like everything seems to be bigger in March. And I feel like the only thing bigger with that is the names, but not the knowledge and not the insight and different things. Maybe I could be the only one. I don't know. That's just how I felt this weekend by watching it.
So this is going to sound really terrible, but I am not a huge fan of women announcers. I never have been. And it's no disrespect. I think it's more of it doesn't fit, right? Like especially the women in the NFL, I'm not a big fan of that because it's like, I feel like they're trying too hard to fit in.
I was just going to say, if they would just be themselves and not try too hard, I don't think I would even notice. But every single one that I see tries way too hard. And it makes me want to turn the channel.
Agree. However, the lady that is with Charles, what's her name? Candace Parker. They inserted her with Charles Barkley and that whole panel. I just think that she brings such a great perspective to the game because
she's a legend
and she's awesome. I don't really know who she is.
Oh, she was an all-time great women's basketball player.
Oh, I didn't know that. I love Tennessee. She played Tennessee. I love that. Like she brings in something different into that whole panel of people. I actually can say that I am a fan. I like that she is announcing these, these games, halftime, whatever. I love that she's there.
Yeah, it is weird. And I don't know if maybe we've just been programmed that way or not, but play-by-play for me, like it's just weird when it's a woman's voice. But when it's like the halftime stuff, I'm more okay with it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like the ones that get me that are annoying are the ones who do the interviews after the games with the players. And I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, oh, it's just because she's pretty. That's why you have her there, because she sounds stupid.
Yeah, no, but Holly, we were talking about something earlier today and almost went there with it, but that's what. Oh, we were talking about like making fun of people and their features and things like that.
Yeah,
there's a huge majority of people in, say, the entertainment industry that the only talent they have is what they were born with, but that's what's taken them to where they are. And in this instance, sometimes I think that's the case too. But I do have a lot of respect for some of the ones that have been in the game for a long time, because I'm like, oh, that's the lady that did the game with whoever 10 years ago. And
maybe it's just more towards football because, women don't play that. And so whereas basketball, they have more of a better perspective because they're involved, like Candace, right? Like she knows the game so well because she used to play it, all the things. And so she knows all the, everything about it. Whereas with football, the women really don't. You didn't play football. You don't really know the plays. You're just basically regurgitating what somebody has told you, honestly.
Oh, firsthand experience is huge in anything in life. Yeah. I mean, if you've never done it before, it doesn't mean you can't be a fan of it, right?
Right.
But you understand it a little bit more if you've actually done it. Even no matter what level it was at, even if it was at like high school level or
no matter what
D2 college or whatever. Yeah. No matter what it is.
Announcing golf.
Yeah. Well, who would you want to talk plumbing with? Caleb or some waitress at some restaurant? Like she may know a little bit about plumbing, or whoever it is, waiter, but you want to talk to somebody who's done it before,
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like, oh, women shouldn't. I'm not saying that.
I'm with you too.
It's just it's different and it's hard to get used to. And even, it's been years now since like Holly Rowe has been there, and it still doesn't feel comfortable. Yeah. Or like natural, I guess. Natural is a better word than comfortable because it doesn't make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, natural is a really good way of putting it. I do think part of that too is what we've been programmed as. I've been alive for a really long time and watched sports for a really, really long time. And it's just been, now the interviewers, they've had female interviewers for a while, but like halftime or play-by-play, that's pretty new. And my brain's not programmed to hear that, It
sounds weird.
But I'll also tell you this. I know. And Mike D probably won't agree with me because he doesn't want to sleep on the couch tonight. But there is a level to a man's brain, and I'm just being honest, that at some point turns off those frequencies of the woman's voice. It just does. I will listen to my wife and I will concentrate as hard as I possibly can to one of her hour-long stories. But at some point, my brain just shuts off.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't hear it anymore. And I might be able to recall it, but I'm not really listening. So it could be for me. That could be part of it too. I don't know. But anyways, anything else we need to talk about before we go off the air? We've been going for an hour and 22 minutes. I didn't realize it'd been that long.
Minutes. That's what my YouTube is telling me. 82 minutes.
Yeah. So with that, keep an eye on the brackets. Hopefully whoever the Phantom Michigan picker guy is, we will figure out who it is, especially if he wins. So if you're listening or you see this, shoot us a DM. Let us know what your Twitter handle is so that we know who you are. And good luck to everybody in that. Say what?
Is that not the Twitter handle? Did you check that?
I tried to, but I think I got interrupted when I was doing it. I didn't pay much attention.
Of course.
It's Monday.
Good luck. Oh,
so
that's their X and IG handle.
Oh, that's their X and IG handle.
Oh, so we'll figure it out then. Maybe.
And I thought it was counterfeit. That's who I thought it was.
Oh, counterfeit, yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't know why. What? I think I know who it is.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh,
guys, have a great week and God bless.
Hey, bear down.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.